what was it like getting that call from Tyler Perry?
Oh,
he's obviously produced a series, right?
Yes. Getting the call from the big boss. I was in Victoria's Secret shopping, and I get a phone call, and it's Tyler, and he says, "So, are you shooting Housewives now?" I said, "Actually, no. I decided to walk away from Housewives. I want to focus a little bit more on scripted and my family." He said, "Great. I have a role that you might like. Send it over. Tell me what you think about it." I read it, and I was like, "Oh my God. This is a crime, underworld, boss, gritty, action." So I got the script, I read the audition sides, and I sent it over on my actual birthday, right after having a baby in September. My birthday was in October, and I got the call maybe 3 months later. I had no clue. I thought the job was gone and in the wind, and I got the call that I got it. I was back in Victoria's Secret when I got the phone call that I got the job. And from that moment, I started to define who Marilyn was.
You are essentially starting a war.
No, I like a war. All of you will go down with her. I don't like being threatened. There will be blood.
Are you trying to die?
I'm a cat. I'm a lioness. I will always land on my feet.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because your character is very, very, let's just say, dominating.
When you usually see someone of that status, it's usually a man. And so being a woman in a business like this, which is very cutthroat, being a gangster with sass, it comes with its trials and it comes with its tribulations. The biggest one this season is trying to figure out where my money is. Someone's always trying to take my money. And I got to figure out where it is.
And she's also very protective of the men in her life. So
Yes.
she's a little bit of a motherly figure as well, isn't she?
There is a very maternal spirit to Madam and the need to protect not only her empire, her name, her reputation, but the people that helped her build that and that protect her every day. So my right hand, Blue, to Dime, my young protege, to the guys. You know, the guys aren't just dancers. The guys aren't just soldiers. They're men that have lives, they have children, they have significant others, and you know, I have to take care of those businesses too.
We've been doing some research and looking at your long list of films that you've done, and we've seen that in 2011 you starred or worked alongside the Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah.
And not many people are aware of that.
Yes. I played a reporter. Meghan Markle was like every other actress. She was Meghan Markle. And it was a cool independent film. We shot it in California. And I remember when I saw her on Suits, I was like, hey, I remember that girl from my film. Only to end up being one of the most historic, iconic women of our day, the Duchess of Sussex.
She's got a Netflix series coming.
Yes.
A docu-series.
Yes.
It's got a lot of people talking.
A lot of people talk, especially after The Crown.
Yeah. Have you been watching that?
Every episode. What do you mean? It's groceries? Absolutely. Every second. I think that Meghan Markle is beautiful. I think she is an amazing example of excellence. How she has persevered, how she has kept her eyes on the prize, which is the purpose of what God put her on the earth for. And how she deals with all that she deals with on a day-to-day basis. But when working with her, she was a regular girl. And it's most likely why her husband fell in love with her and why her friends are her friends. I mean, a diamond doesn't make you a better person, it just makes you shiny, right? And I think she's always been a diamond. She was always very gracious on set, fun to work with. And no one knew she was going to be the Duchess of Sussex. Like no one.
If only, right?
In a million years, yeah.
And I think that's what captivates people here in America and also abroad as well.
It's very Diana, you know, it's very Princess Di, where I think she's a little older than Diana was when she was introduced to the royal family and what that world was like. But just the honesty and the genuineness of her. And I think she just was a girl that fell for a man who happened to be a man of his status, who happened to have been birthed into this family with these expectations and these titles. But at the end of it, you strip all that away, it's just a man in love with a woman. And to have to fight for that love is insane to me, even in these days. And I think it is a modern day love story of what you have to go through to really get your true love.
We're also seeing in so many ways how her story is not just defining history, it's also defining her role as a black woman who, you know, sort of went to the very heights of British institution.
Did we all not see the grace and poise that Meghan Markle held at the Queen's funeral? And it is not even in her words, it's in her truth, because it's in her body language. It's in the way she holds his hand. It's the way she looks at him. It's in her true, I mean, even the way she talks to the people as she walks down the crowd, and she really stops and engages. I mean, I love this lady. I love her. I think she is a beautiful example of a black woman. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. I know her humble beginnings. I know where her mom comes from, but it's not about where you come from. It's about where you can go. And I think she has made an example for all women, especially those that look like her, reminding us that we can go anywhere we want.
And what do you think about the criticisms directed at her for having this Netflix series? I mean, you've done reality TV. You see, in some way, she and Harry have talked about them telling their truth and telling their story and being in control of that narrative. How important do you think that is?
I think it's extremely important as it was to Harry's mother to get that book out, as dangerous as it was for her to figure out how to get the book out, but for the truth to be known. Knowledge is power, and not just power for the sake of power, but power for the sake of change in a positive way. And so they have the ability. They don't have the monarchy telling them what they can and cannot do. And I applaud their bravery. I think that it is going to give so many people an insight and a perspective in a world that's easily judged but not at all understood. And she was not born in the institution. You know what I'm saying? She was born as a regular girl with dreams. So to now be a part of or adjacent to, however you want to describe their positioning now, to the institution, I think she has a lot to say, and I'm very eager to hear what it is.
Do you know what's so surprising? What? The fact that you're a fan of The Crown. And your British knowledge of British history and the monarchy is quite something.
I am a black woman in America. If I don't know my history and the world's history, I know nothing. So from that to apartheid to Nelson Mandela to, Desmond Tutu, you have to learn your history. You have to know where you come from. I have 3 children, beautiful daughter named Marley, she's 8, almost 9. I'm raising 2 black kings, Michael and Maverick, and how do I teach them where to go if I can't tell them where we came from?